Shalom. Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honor to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. I was listening to a video. I kind of scrolled through the timeline to see what was going on through the Spirit. And what I'm realizing about a lot of Israelites in this thing, and the apostles was going into it. How in this thing that's doing this for filthy lucre. Now, you got a scripture, I believe in Micah, when it goes into they teach for reward and teach for hire, and the priests bear means by their own, because a lot of guys come in this thing because they can make money selling merchandise, selling Israelite content. And what I'm realizing too about this thing is that you got a lot of Israelites that's in that podcast type spirit, which that's the new thing now, Like cut all that shit down and build a fucking restaurant. But no, they basically what happens is they go on these shows, like you got a show called Fresh and Fit, and there's many of them, man. Club Shay Shay, Vlad TV, all these other particular podcasts. When these jakes come on there and they basically give a sob story, in reality they're just basically telling on themselves, and they're telling because like right now these elites are in the midst of exposing all these celebrities out here. So a lot of guys are coming on there telling and snitching and going about what they've dealt with in the industry to clear their conscience. Like the big thing now in the news is this whole diddler thing, P. Diddy, which that's smoke and mirrors, man, all right? Because we understand that P. Diddy, yeah, he's like this type of gatekeeper, but I mean, he's not the only one that's involved in shenanigans like that. So he just like a fall guy at the end of the day, because they know that those particular things are set up to confuse and to detour you jakes from what's really happening in the world. So while everybody is focused on this whole Diddy thing, you got all hell breaking loose in the world, But anyway, so the whole podcast spirit is what you're seeing in Israel right now with the debates, the various camps. You got IUIC, you got the UPK, you got the Sakari, you got what's this guy again by the name of Hakar out of Genesis. And basically the spirit homed in on this guy because basically he made a mention that how he was blessed and how he walks in a garage and he can ride in something nice and he got a nice crib. But from everything that came out about this guy Deacon, found out that you a scam artist, man. Okay, when I say scam artist, meaning that you're selling the truth for filthy lucre's sake. And it's truly not about edifying Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai's flock. It's truly not about that. So when you look at the spirit that these men are coming in, and I'm asking myself, I'm like, why is these guys doing so many debates about the same thing? Like, okay, the newest thing now is that we're in a new covenant. And we've been tackled that debate ages ago, okay? We've been dealt with that. Because, it was a point in time when you had a group of ninjas that came up against us, which called themselves the ministers of the new covenant, but they faded into oblivion. But now that same spirit is coming back out. And what I'm realizing is because Jake realized they could make money off these useless debates, okay? Now, I'm not saying that the topic of the new covenant is useless, because it's not, okay? There has to be edification in that. But dealing with these Christians and these different guys is really useless at the end of the day. And it's all for clout, and it's all about for filthy lucre, man. It's about getting money and ripping people off, man. Okay? You see these guys engaging in debates and the podcast type setup more than actually going out there on the highways and the byways speaking the words of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay? And like I kept telling brothers all the time, man. I keep telling brother, I said the car, what's this guy's name? Hakar. I say he's not a man of the Lord. Like, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I don't believe he's a man of the Most High. All right, and I'm sticking to that. I don't care how many debates, how many breakdowns you think Okay, he just don't have the spirit of a man of the Most High on him. Okay, because the scriptures say that a man, you can tell a man by his countenance. And the first time I looked at this guy, I'm like, this guy's a real demon. Okay, a real devious individual. You know, he's one of them niggas that he's probably used to put firecrackers in your mailbox or throw dead cats on an old lady's porch or something like that. But he just don't have a real trusting and empathetic spirit on him, man. And it wasn't surprising to me when that guy Al-Azhar bought out, you know, some things that we had already knew about this guy Hakkar. You know, we already kind of knew that, but when Al-Azhar kind of exposed it all, I mean, that confirmed through the spirit that the dude wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? But yet he got guys that follow him that trust in his word. So, you know, the scriptures say that they should, what is it, Jeremiah, the 5th chapter, I think it says they should set a cage and they should set a snare and catch men, though they shine, though their deeds overpass the deeds of the wicked. That's a lot of these guys that call themselves Israelites, man, all right? Because this truth is about suffering. Okay, in one form or another, you're going to go through something, whether it be hardships or bodily ailments or really the battle of the mind. Okay, because a person could appear to be everything through the body and just by looking at them, but perceiving in the mind, hey, Jake be suffering with plagues and infirmities, man. Demons. Okay, like we always say, we are our biggest critics in this thing, you know? And this truth is really a battle of the mind, nothing more, nothing less. Okay? My short tenure in this thing, it's been nothing but ups and downs through the spirit, you know? And yeah, you deal with things in the body, flesh, you know, little aggravants here and there. Vehicle may act up, you know, little dumb shit like that. But overall, this is a battle of the mind. And as I grow in this thing, I'm realizing it more and more that our sufferings are going to come 95% through the mental, man. And when you're suffering mentally, then it seeps out into bodily ailments, man. Because stress, that causes a sick body. A sick mind causes a sick body. And this is why the Lord said the whole head is sick. There's no soundness in it, and we're all faint from the foot up. From the soles of our foot to our mind, there's no soundness in it. We all suffer from mental battles, man. Okay? And that's the whole point of this ministry, going through things. Now, that may come off as being kind of, how can I say it? That may, I won't say minute, because suffering is not minute at all, but that may come off as rather discouraging to brothers, because the thing of coming into the truth is that you try to escape the woes of the world. But see, when you're in the world, you don't even realize that you're in trouble. Okay? You just realize that it's something that's off about this place, and that you may be the tell of unfortunate situations, but when you come into the truth, it makes it make all sense, because you understand now it's part of the curses and due to the sufferings, man. You know? So that's what this thing is about. It's about suffering. And guys in this thing, you know, mainly from them other groups, they ain't trying to suffer. Because look at Nate. Nate is a multi-millionaire, man. Okay? And he have PR firms that kind of uniform him a little bit, that come up with the gimmicks and the uniform, and, you know, they push certain things because they have PR firms. And I believe the same thing is with Genesis and the Sakari. I believe they have PR firms as well, because everybody is uniform, you know, with the fatigue pants, with the combat boots, and you know, the shirts and stuff like that. I think it's all through PR means, you know, which is public relations, you know, because if you're uniform that way and you have a PR firm, then that means that you're in the business of trying to make money, and you're trying to you know, you're trying to make money, you're trying to make a profit, you know. And I see that now. So when this guy mentioned that he's living nice and this and that, all right, ain't nobody against nobody having a house or a car. I mean, those things are possessions, and just because you have those things doesn't mean that you're doing good, okay? That just, sometimes people just have the fortunate to do things more than other people. But when he made that mention, this dude's treasures is on earth, man. Okay, he's laid his treasures up in earth. He didn't lay up his treasures in heaven, because you can tell. I remember he did a video years ago when he was talking about GMS hating because he riding in the Benz. Like, dude, nobody's hating on you, man. Okay, you ain't nobody to hate on, for real. Okay, see, that dude, he got what he called he got a Napoleon complex. He got a little guy complex. So a lot of times when you got guys like that feels real small in the spirit, they have to appear to make themselves look bigger, because truly inside they feel low, you know? And that's what Jake has been reduced to in this society. There's a bunch of little boys, man. And hey, don't get it twisted. We all feel low at times, man. You know, because Jake is very competitive in nature. You know, I had a situation over the weekend, And it's just little dumb petty shit. It be little shit. Me and the brothers went out, and you got that punching machine, and I beat myself up because I hit it and I scored the low score. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm like, I know I got way more power than this. But when I was thinking about it, I looked at the angle. I'm like, it's not about power. It's not about how hard you can hit this fucking machine. It's about an angle, and it's about how quick you can snap it. Brother, like, you too far back. I was like, oh, okay, bet. So I did it again. I broke the fucking machine. So, but, you know, it was fucking with my spirit, because I'm like, man, my spirit, I feel like I'm a warrior, you know. I'm like, I can't be feeling low like that, but it just be mental, little dumb, minute shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing big. But you got guys in this thing that sincerely think that their accomplishments and their worldly accomplishments is making them just the creme de la creme, and that's not what this thing is about, man. Okay, we're all suffering, and we're all gonna go through things in this thing, man. All right, it ain't about being the richest Israelite or the toughest Israelite, because the Lord said, look, King David said, shit, his strength didn't bring salvation into him. Yeah, how about Yahushua did? So you can have 1 million cars, you can have 1 million houses, okay, you can have 1 million followers. At the end of the day, that's not gonna make you anything great with Yahushua, because it's about the spirit, and the spirit of enduring, man. All right, and that's the spirit that we have to continue to encapsulate on in our minds, man. You know, but I did break that fucking machine though, so I had to show the brothers, like, look, nigga, this shit real. This shit real. Nah, I'm just talking shit though, man. But you get it, man. But Jake, man, the Lord gonna start in the house of Jacob first, man, because like I said, I'm realizing that Jake is not sincere, man. I don't really see sincerity in them other groups. Now, among their followers, I believe they are sincere followers in this thing. But see, also, what I come to realize too is that Jake always just wanted to be a part of something. See, one thing about this Hebrew Israelite thing, see, Jake come from situations that they feel like, oh, well, I got to be a part of something, because that's all Jake is. Jake just want to be a part of something. Now, like, when you go into the gangs and how the gangs were formed and shit like that, they mentioned that the gangs were really formed to bring peace and unity to the hoods because of injustices of Esau. But reality of it is, most Jakes join gangs because they want to be part of something. You know, so a lot of guys in this thing, they don't truly have the definitive to what this thing is about, but they just want to be part of something, and it looks cool, and you can curse out the so-called white man with a pretty garment on. And you got some people, that mindset extols that low, man, you know? So it's just like, wow, you know, Jake, we got to do better. But you know what? The hell with them other groups, man. You know, this is just a message to the sincere brothers and the sincere sisters in this thing. Look, take this thing serious, all right? We at the end, shit is happening. Don't be like these other dudes, man. I feel for guys that follow these other groups, because truly, you know, if those guys are sincere, the Lord will deliver them out of their situations. But reality of it is, it's just like, the thing to be a part of is following a bunch of false prophets, man. And like I said, I don't think because a man in the Lord. I just don't. I never got that from him. You know, he just always appeared to me as a fraud and a guy that cannot be trusted. You know, you could just look at certain men and know they ain't right. And when I first seen that dude, I'm like, yeah, he ain't right. Because one thing, if you in his faith and you call yourself and you trust your discernment, then you defeating yourself. I trust my discernment, even if it's off at times. I at least trust it. And usually when my spirit gives me a red flag, I'm usually on point with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, that dude ain't right. And then the spirit reveals the nigga wasn't right. Same thing with that dude Element. I remember I was a young man in the truth. And the first time I got on a conference with all them guys, and the first time I heard his voice, the spirit had me to speak, and my microphone was a lot louder than everybody else's, because he asked a question, I knew the breakdown. And when he was talking, the spirit like, man, this dude ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But everybody looked it up to this dude. So that's why the scriptures say, even a roughly paraphrase, speaking things in season out of season. And I was telling one of the brothers, I'm like, yeah, you know, I get it, he's an elder, but I'm like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries and say things that's presumptuous, you know, because I can be wrong. And the brother like, yeah, I feel you on that, but if the spirit's on your spirit, then the spirit will reveal it. And years later, that dude got, you know, he got excommunicated. So, but anyway, I got a couple of precepts here before I did bro say UGK and Sakari join forces? Who you talking? UGK. You mean ISUPK and Sakari? I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know if they joined forces. I just know they was doing the debates and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it because, like I said, it's all about money with these dudes. But anyway, Revelation 3:15, it says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. It says, I would thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of thy mouth. That's right. And it says, because thou says, I am rich and increase with goods and have needs of nothing. Okay. And knowest that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. Okay. So that's the point. It says we're in a new covenant like the Ark of the Covenant. What the hell is this dude talking about, man? I don't understand what this means, the new covenant. It's like a new age that we're upon right now. Aren't we entering an age of correct? No, bro. We don't. No, we're not in the new covenant yet, man. All right. We under grace right now. Okay. Because you still got the Old Testament laws. But the grace about it is the fact Yahweh Shai died so we can get this thing right. Okay. Now, technically, we're not being judged under the old covenant per se, because like you commit adultery and you ain't getting put to death on the spot. But you break the law, you will be judged. So you can say that we still have that covenant intact, but we're under grace. The new covenant comes in once Yahweh Shai comes to redeem us and we get those new bodies. So we're under grace right now. Because how can you be in a new covenant and you able to die? All right. And on top of that, you can't have a wicked rulership and a righteous rulership that coexists under one rulership. So we're not in a new covenant yet, if that makes any sense. But anyway, Shalom Maki Makwathi Mahabah Shemel Shabrak Thumb. Brother GMS Tazadak Ban Yahawda. Shalom, brother. And yet the brother said we can still sin and die. We are under grace, not the new covenant yet. Exactly, like what I just explained. Hebrews 8:8, it says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the day is come, says Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, because they continue not in my covenant, and as not, says the Lord, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, and I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, but for this covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. And it's talking about when Yahweh Shai returns, says Yahweh, and I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be unto them as a power, and they should be unto me as a people. Now, when you go into Revelation 20:3, when he said, I make all things new, that's going into the new covenant. Okay. So we're not in that new covenant yet. We're under grace. You see, because we can still sin. All right. And having the law, statutes, and commandments written in your hearts is talking about being able to walk perfectly in the commandments without going off. You may say, well, look, I can walk the commandments now. I know them by heart, but you still subjected to sin, which proves that we're not in the new covenant. You see? If that make any sense. And it says, and they should not teach every man anymore his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all should know me from the least to the greatest, and I will be merciful to their unrighteousness and their sins and their iniquities would I remember no more. So right now, if we're able to die, that means that we still can sin. That means that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can still judge us. So right now, we're not in the new covenant because we still dwell in sin. We still have these sinful bodies, you know? It says, wow, do you know a lot about the Bible? What Bible are you quoting from? If you don't mind me asking, what Bible everybody is quoting? I'm confused right now. I think I'm going to swipe. King James Version, yeah. Yeah, bro, just it's not hard, man. It's really not hard, man. It's not hard. Like the brother said, you got to pray and ask for understanding, man. It's not that hard, brother. It's really not. No, first I thought you was kind of being a little presumptuous, but as I'm reading the comment, I don't know if you sincerely asking, but if you are, you are. If you're not, then time will tell. Yeah, it says, how can you be in truth and you satisfy this world? That's absolutely right, brother. God, kind. Lights out, devil, 2 Corinthians 4:18. It says, while we look not after the things that are seen, but the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, right? Your vehicle, your car, all this other stuff. Like we was just speaking at it at the camp. We said everything we possess is temporary. The vehicle you drive, all that shit is all temporary. Like this vehicle that this woman is driving is going to be hit by the missiles. All these trees, the clothes we wear, all this stuff is gone up. So this is temporal. So you can't really put your faith and trust in these things, man. Okay, these are earthly vessels. They die, they rot out, they decay, they're going to be destroyed. They're just means to an end to get us to where we need to get and help us through our battles in life. But other than that, these things are really not to be overly attached to. And that's the problem. People oftentimes make things of this world their idols. And that's not what we're supposed to do. All right? You're supposed to have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai as our provider. Jake wants vainglory. Absolutely. Sirach 19:29, it says, a man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him, and a man's attire and excessive laughter and gait showed what he is. Right, man. And like I said, going back to this dude, Hakar, like I said, he just rubbed me the wrong way. A lot of guys rub me the wrong way, you know, but that one in particular stands out because, I mean, for the longest, you know, they was getting credit and being bigged up, you know, which, hey, if you follow them, then that's on you. But in my small eyesight, I never really was feeling them dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they teaching Israel and they're teaching them. That's a beautiful thing. But same time, bro, your spirit got to be right. You know, like Apostle Gabar said, he said he's seen guys like that and they all come and go eventually. So, you know, it's just a matter of time. Matthew 7:17, it says, even every so good tree bringeth forth good fruit, a corrupt tree bringeth forth corrupt fruit. And every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits you should know them. And hey, they got that term where they say the apples don't fall too far from the tree. So what you see is what you get, you know. So it doesn't make it make a lot of sense to me when you have guys coming in that spirit. I mean, it's kind of given at that point. You kind of can tell, you know, if you discern it through the spirit properly. But anyway, with that, Salakia, man, I was a little long-winded. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations through a hopeful elect. And it was in his gospel bride. Lord's will, you were edified. Until the next lesson, Shalom, Baba Shalom.